just to let you guys know, this is my third time recording this audio. I want to die, but anyways, we ball. What's going on, folks? It's your boy Chris and I'm back. Really quick, want to shout out to Friendly Neighborhood Artist for leaving a comment on my second to last video asking me to cover this topic. These are just some tips that I've found to help me when I'm going about creating different kinds of facial structures, and hopefully it'll help you in some way, shape, or form. Take whatever you want from this video and leave whatever you want from this video. It's completely fine. These are not rules. But I do find, just hopping right into it, that the number one thing that I'm always thinking about when I'm doing a face is the shape language. The shape language is super key. I mean, when you're talking about characters that are supposed to be super masculine, characters that are supposed to be super feminine, sexy, cute, innocent, mature, all of this comes down to, honestly, shape language. This is the broad stroke of the face. So what you want to use, say if you're making more masculine or mature looking faces, you're going to want to use a lot more boxes, and you're going to want to use a lot more angles, like sharp angles. The sharpness of the angles and the boxes and the boxy structure and even the triangles really kind of form that overall masculine appeal. It provides a lot of structure. It seems sturdy. These are, like, for lack of a better term, big traits that kind of make up like the box structure of faces. I do this a lot for like my characters that are in their mid-20s to even 40s, 50s. And then when you're talking about more mature characters, the angles that you use and the boxiness as well, but like mainly the sharpness of the angles really kind of take a lot of the innocence and the inexperience away from the face structure. So just kind of keeping those things in mind when you're creating those kind of characters really helps. When you're creating super feminine characters, say like ladies, women, or even like kids, because kids, you can use this too. Using like softer angles and like more circle / ovular shape language really helps portray them as like super feminine, super put together. I do this a lot when I'm making like girl characters or characters that are supposed to be sexy in general, or characters that are supposed to be innocent. Like a lot of these are traits that I'd use for those kinds of characters. Now, specifically to make the distinction between sexy and innocent characters, if I'm doing sexy characters, I'm still going to keep the roundness of like their traits. However, there is going to be some angularity when it comes to the sharpness of, say, like their chin, the sharpness of their neck bone, sorry, not neck bones, their cheekbones, and like maybe how slender or how full their actual nose, their nose, their neck, their lips are, right? All of these traits are super important, and then the eyes, right, too. For innocence, again, you're gonna want the circular, ovular traits kind of going, the circular shape language. However, if they're supposed to be hot or sexy or mature, right, you're gonna want more slitted / angular / sharp eyes, for the rim of the eyebrows and the rim of the eyelashes and all of that jazz. So I think those kind of really help me. So just to recap again, boxes, angles, triangles for like masculine traits and mature traits, more circles, ovals, arcs, and smooth curves for like the feminine and innocent traits. Another thing I want to keep in mind too, or that I try to keep in mind, is kind of like for me, I do like to look at real world references and then kind of like portray that into my face structure. But I do get that a lot of people draw in the anime style. So what I'll say is that like when you're drawing different kinds of characters, like depending on the race or depending on the ethnicity, whatever the case happens to be, the actual features of the character you can try and portray into your anime proportions. What do I mean by that? You can still draw in anime proportions or your style's proportions, but then like maybe switching like the shape of the feature itself may lend itself to helping portray who that character is a little bit better, or what that character's background is a little bit. Case in point, say if you're drawing a black character, our noses are flat. Our noses are more flat, they're not as angular, so you can still have the anime proportions if that's like what your quote-unquote style is. However, you can still draw the nose like a little bit more flatter. It doesn't have to be super angular, it can be more round, right? Lips could be fuller, or again, it really just depends on what you want to adopt in your own style. So these are not rules, but to like help with that translation, I kind of keep that stuff in mind with my own work. And yeah, like just in general, like, you know, just kind of keeping in mind, like, you know, if what the ethnicity of the character is, and then looking at, like, you know, the real world counterpart of that ethnicity for what you're referencing or what your character is, and then, you know, mimicking kind of the facial structure of the race of people that you're trying to portray in your stuff. And then you could just mimic the facial structure and then just apply that to the proportions of your character. I don't know if I'm making sense or not. No. But essentially what I'm trying to, you know, explain is that, you know, anyone's style can portray any kind of character. I'm unconvinced that one person's style cannot portray, you know, diverse kind of characters. Obviously, again, maybe it'll be harder or more tricky, but I don't think it's impossible. Either way, to recap, again, these are just kind of tips that I follow. Shape language, sharp angles for masculine and mature faces, soft angles and features for feminine and innocent faces. Again, when it comes to, again, the features, you can just grab the features and, again, dissect the features too. What the features of, like, your characters are, and then what the shape language of those features are. And then you can apply that to your own work. And just kind of keeping all of this stuff in mind when you're drawing. It really helps, you know, kind of nip in the bud the same face syndrome. A lot of people struggle with that. I used to struggle with that heavy. And now I don't think I struggle with that anymore. I think a lot of my faces are fairly distinct and unique. So yeah, these are just kind of my thoughts. But again, shout out to Friendly Neighborhood Artist for requesting this video. If there are any other requests at all, you can leave them down below and I'll try to get to them if they're within my ability to do or help out with. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. The Bing Bong visual novel demo is out. You can play that link in the description below. Tell me your thoughts on that. And also, it's about to be New Year, so happy New Year. If this goes up, you know, before New Year's or like right during New Year's, I don't know when this is going up, to be honest, but you know, this is recorded like on the 29th. So anyways, yeah, appreciate you guys for watching. Thanks as always. Follow me on my socials, and you know, leave a comment, like the video if you enjoyed it, and let me know what you think. And I'll see you in the next one. Appreciate you guys. All right, take it easy. Peace.